Well, good morning, friends. Today I've got my camo hat on because I have a special video to share with you today. A couple of weeks back, it was actually the July the 4th weekend, my husband and I did something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, and a perfect opportunity came up for us to do it. So we are huge fans of the Robertson family from West Monroe, Louisiana. Sorry, there's a plane coming over. Anyway, if you're not familiar with them, they are the family that did the show Duck Dynasty, which we did love the show, but mainly the reason that we are fans of them isn't as much the show as the fact that they are a really strong Christian family. And they had like a huge thing on July 4th weekend, which they invited people to come to. Now, they have a podcast. The show, they don't have the show anymore, but the father, Phil, and two of his sons, Jace and Alan, they do a daily podcast that we listen to and watch, and it's basically a Bible study, but with some of their funny stories kind of thrown in. So it's really engaging if you like things like that, if you're looking for a Bible study. And if you had brothers like I did, then the kind of stuff that they kind of throw in there and talk about, it's very funny to me. But they do very much get down to business of learning about the Bible. Well, Phil has a really interesting story if you've never heard of him. His first 28 years, he was he's not the most proud of his first 28 years, let's just put it that way. But at 28 years old, he got saved, and he is just now, his mission in life is to teach people about Jesus. And he does a Sunday school, a Bible class every Sunday morning. And since we've been watching this podcast, they always tell everybody, you're invited to come, to his class. And we've said for some time, wouldn't it be cool to go to his actual class and sit in on it and learn from Phil? So this past July 4th weekend, it also coincided with this big event that they were doing, that they invited everybody to come to, which was held at one of the homes of one of the sons, Jace. They just wanted people to come. They were going to, they support a lot of different causes. Specifically, two of the big ones I know are adoption and fostering. And then they also support children with cleft palates, because one of the sons, Jace, his daughter was born with a cleft palate. She's had a lot of different surgeries and things. So they support a lot of different good causes. But their main thing is they want people to learn about Jesus. And so they are located in West Monroe, Louisiana, which the map says is about 3.5 hours from here. But it was a little bit longer than that for us because we made a couple of stops. But it was a nice drive and everything. So this little trip that we took, we went to see Phil preach, and then we stayed for their church service, their worship service in their church. And then later in the day, we went to this event, which was at this property called Logtown Estates. It's owned by Jace Robertson. And if you are familiar with their shows, they have a new show that's called Duck Family Treasure, and that home has been on at least one of the episodes, maybe more than one. I think they do live there full part-time. I don't really know. I've seen them there, though. And it's also a bed and breakfast. So you can actually stay there. We did not stay there. We stayed at a Hampton Inn because that's usually where we stay. But the 4th of July event was held at that home, and it was very fun. There was just all kinds of neat things, and we got to meet several members of the Robertson family, so that was just a lot of fun. And I want to tell you before you watch this video, this video really isn't about meeting celebrities, because obviously they're celebrities, they are, but I'm going to tell you right now, these were some of the most down-to-earth, just good people I've ever met in my life. All of the ones that we met. And their concern for every person they talked to, and I was watching, I was observing them talking to people, and then we talked to some of them, and every single time it was, they would ask, or they would say, "We're so glad you're here, and where do you live? Where did you come from? How far did you come from? And is there anything that we can do?" They were very much servant leaders, which that's unusual in today's world. But that explains a lot about their marriages are all strong. They have one mission in life, really, and that is to get the gospel out. So I hope that you enjoy this, whether you're a Christian or not. I think if you're a fan of their show, you'll enjoy it for that reason. If you've never heard of them, I think you might still enjoy it, because there was just a lot of cool things that you'll see on the property, and we sure did enjoy going. And we've decided this is probably something that we will do maybe once a year, or once every couple of years, is go and visit and see Phil preach again. He's in his 70s, and he's just going strong. So I hope you enjoy it, and here it is. We went to eat at a Texas Roadhouse there, and this is the mural that was on the wall. They said that the family comes in there often. So this is the church where we were going to go see Phil preach, and we were just checking to see where the church was, making sure we knew how to get there. They have the symbols in the front of the church that represent Jesus's life. And that's what Phil actually uses to preach the gospel, is those symbols. And then you go around to the back of the church here, and you'll see the little building where Phil does his class. I don't know if it used to be maybe a parsonage or something, but he does his class right there in that little building. And this was the view Sunday morning from our hotel room as we were getting ready, and I just thought it was so beautiful. The sun coming through the clouds. Isn't that something? So then this is just another view of those symbols in front of the church, and then there's Phil's class. We were sitting right there on his right. This was when he was getting up to leave. And then we got a picture taken with Jace after the worship service, and Jace's wife, Missy. And we'll get another picture with her later that you'll see. And just more people. And then this was on the way to Jace's house. This is just cornfields as far as you can see. It's so beautiful. And then this is where the event is being held, which is Jace's a home that he owns, and there's a new bed and breakfast there. The grounds were just beautiful, you guys. And I thought it would be way more crowded, but it was actually just the right amount of people. It wasn't crazy or anything. They have a beautiful barn. There was some different booths and stuff inside the barn. The family supports a lot of charities. There's just another picture of me and Ben with Missy, Jace's wife. And then this is the front yard of the house. This is where they're going to do the fireworks later. But the family was just so welcoming and everything. There were several members of the Robertson family there. And they have one mission in life, really, and that is to tell people about Jesus, and that's what they do. And they're very welcoming. Every single person, there's Jep, he's the youngest son of the Robertsons. Every single person, they took time to talk to them, answer any questions they had. They had games set out for the kids. That's us getting ready for fireworks. And then there's just another view of the house. It's an old plantation is actually what it is, and they've renovated it, and they're using it as a bed and breakfast. But it's just really something to see. And we felt very welcome. It was just very nice and relaxing, and you felt like you were just a part of their family or friends. It was just really something. They came up to people and, said, "We're glad you're here." Over and over I heard that, and they said it to us. "We're glad you're here. How far did you come from?" And one person that I saw came from Canada, and he came to go to the church service, and he got baptized that morning. And then they also were baptizing people here on these grounds. That's what that is that's set up there. It's just the driveway and then another building. And I know you can rent out these different areas. If you go online, if you're interested in it, it's called Logtown Estates in West Monroe. Well, I guess this part is Monroe, Louisiana. And people you're just bringing your lawn chairs, your blankets. They did have food trucks, but they didn't tell anybody they couldn't bring in their own stuff. This is a little antique store that they've set up on the grounds that belongs. It's things that two of the wives of the Robertson brothers, they go to estate sales and they buy things, and they've set up this little store. And a lot of the stuff a lot of the money-making things that they do goes to donations. They support all kinds of causes like adoption. They support children with cleft palates and their surgeries. And, oh gosh, there's just so many different things that they support. And all of them are just to help other people. So it was a fun little trip to look at the antiques. Very primitive type of stuff in here. But it was really fun looking, and I did get a few little souvenirs, a couple of little things. Of course, they had to have some duck things, obviously. That little duck thing there, it's dark brown, has the brass head. I bought that for one of my sons to put his change on. And then my husband wanted to get this Sound of Music record album, so we got that. And they had just some more, and then this is from one of the food trucks. That burger was delicious, and the food was reasonably priced. I think I paid $10 for that.
As the sun rose red above Sula Savannah, Bowler sprang out of his bed. "Today's the day," he sang as he spun around his room. This morning, Valor would go to his Uncle Moby's house and play pirates. Who besides me has a crazy uncle? He tumbled downstairs so excited that he could hardly stop moving.
By his son. So if I pick this Bible up, I'm fixing to do this for everybody here in a minute. So what is this about? Genesis to Malachi says Jesus is coming. The Messiah, the King, the Son of God. He's coming to earth. Matthew to John says he's here on the earth. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you want to see what happened when Jesus was here 2,000 years ago, somebody put it in red letters for you. What did he go around doing? Healing people. Raising the dead. Well, how did he do that? How could you do that if you are not God? Can you do that? So, see where this is going. He chose to reveal himself by becoming a man. Acts to the Revelation. So if Genesis to Malachi is he's coming, if Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is he's here, you want to guess on what Acts to the Revelation is?
He's coming back.
He's coming back. Can't help it, man. So he left. In Acts chapter 1, you see this picture of him levitating and clouds hid him from their sight. Who that is or what that coin looks like, raise your hand. 0. Well, here's what's interesting. About an hour later, I found another one in a person's yard in Baltimore, Maryland. So to help give you some clues, I want to read you something concerning the Declaration of Independence.
No. So this is just inside the store. They have all kinds of souvenirs. They sell actual duck calls and things like that here too. But it's a lot of souvenirs and information about the family and about the business. You can see t-shirts, books that the family has written or that's been written about them. Just a lot of different things of interest to pick from. They have clothes and just things that support their different causes that they want to support. And then there's a tour that kind of takes you through the life of the family. And then that map back there, that's one of the maps they have that shows how far people have come from different places to come here. And you just look at that. People have come from all around the world just to go to Phil Robertson's class and hear him preach and have him baptize them. And so it's pretty cool. And there's just a close-up of the map. There's another map inside the tour that's really similar and bigger. And then, of course, we couldn't go to Louisiana without seeing alligator. So there you go. That thing was pretty big too. Doesn't look as big in the picture. Here's the tour. And I filmed different parts of the tour. The tour is well worth it. It's self-guided, and there was a lot to see. So, of course, I didn't include everything, but we really enjoyed the tour. So if you ever go and you're fans, then I would suggest do the tour because it was a lot of fun.
What do you mean? That's part of it. Get ready for it.
Oh, then the one thing to do is duck hunting. That's prepared to duck hunt.
I'm Phil Robertson, probably better known as the Duck Commander. So I was one of 7 children, 5 boys and 2 girls. I never heard anyone say we were dirt poor, but we were basically dirt poor.
We had new cars, nice clothes, and much money. And we certainly never lived in an extravagant home, but we were always happy, happy, happy.
Now, Kay Robertson's family, when she was growing up, they owned a grocery store, and this is just a recreation of some of the products that would have been sold in that store. It's called the Caraway General Store, and there's a picture of it. And this isn't, the video just doesn't do it justice. It was kind of cool to see some of the old products, and then here are the prices at that time in the 1950s. I sure wish we had some of these same prices these days. Can you imagine? Wow. And then my grandmother had one of these in her shop. Just an old adding machine. And then there's, I hate to say old Coke machine because I remember them looking like that. And then just some different things that you would have seen at that time period. There's just a little recreation of a little diner, I guess, where they would have gone. It's really cute. And that is a beautiful old jukebox. Look at that. That is just the coolest thing ever. I would love to have something like that. And just some of the songs that were on there. I don't know if you can see it, but of course they were songs from the 50s. And it cost 10 cents, y'all. 10 cents to play a song. This is what was Willie Robertson's office on the show. And I'm guessing that was his original office. And then when they did the show, that's where they did it. This is where we're going to make a duck call.
Welcome to the duck call room. Today you will get to participate in actually making a duck call. If Si can do this, literally anyone can do it. Here you have 4 pieces to a duck call. You have the bell, the insert, the reed, you have the wedge. You take the reed, you place it on top of the tone board like this, pointing up. Reed tips are pointing up. You then take the wedge, place it on top of the reed and the tone board. Put your thumb over it, lights up. Apply a little pressure. Insert the insert into the barrel. Slight twist. Slight pressure. Put it together. And then the moment of truth. Do not do this. This is the barrel. This is where your lips go. You're hired.
One more time. All right.
Man, you're kind of like...
What do you want him to do? Send you a letter? He sent you a lot of them. You're learning old values, but they're all here condensed down into one big letter. So, I will pray for you as you go forth, from what you've seen and heard through the tour. Here's my prayer for every last one of you.
In this room, they had some of the outfits that Sadie Robertson wore when she was on Dancing with the Stars. She was 16 years old when she did this, and it was really something.
I would roll out the dough. We rolled out with an old whiskey bottle, which I asked my grandmother why we had that since nobody drank that I knew of.
I bet you keep the actual commander straight. You're the woman behind the man, is that
That
right?
is exactly right.
He owes his success to you.
He wouldn't go anywhere. He wouldn't get out of the woods if it wasn't for me. So.
Out in the front of the Duck Commander building, they have this area with these ducks in it. They have a pond and a little shelter, and they're just so cute. Well, that's that, and it was a really fun trip, you guys, and I'm sorry I'm just now getting this on here. I was doing some editing on it, and then I got sidetracked, and I'm trying to set up my classroom. It is almost back to school time, and then we're taking another trip coming up, so I was trying to get some stuff done at school before that happens. So I'm a little bit late getting this posted, but I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope if you're interested, I hope you'll take advantage of looking them up. The church is called White Ferry Road Church in West Monroe, Louisiana. And every single Sunday, Phil is there preaching. From time to time, he doesn't travel a whole lot, but there might be some times that he travels. But if you are interested in going and going to his class, you could call White Ferry Road Church and just ask them if he's going to be there. It is worth the trip. He's a great preacher. We really enjoyed it, and it's just it was very interesting to do, and it was very fulfilling. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.